at 7:03 p.m. This is a work session of the governing body of the Borough of Bloomingdale. Everyone would please rise to salute our nation's flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We should have all the sounds from that. They already had the plan. Roll call, please.
Mayor Dunleavy. Mayor Dunleavy.
I'm sorry, here. Jeff was it?
Yeah.
Here.
Halston.
Here.
Amato.
Here.
Della Ripa.
Here.
Hudson. Here. Sondemire.
Here. Also with us are municipal clerk, Jane McCarthy, and from our attorney, Dorsey Semrau, Jeff Pasak. Thank you for being here, Jeff. This is an official meeting of the governing body of the Borough of Bloomingdale on January 4th, 2014. The date, time, and place of this official meeting was faxed and mailed to all local news media, posted here at Borough Hall. There's no need at this time for an early executive session. There are four non-agenda items. One is an ordinance pertaining to vacant homes, which I'll address in more detail when we get to on the agenda. The second item is a second ordinance requiring the registration of vacant homes, and we'll just be introducing by title this evening. The second is an ordinance regarding underage drinking, and that'll be, I'm looking for a motion to refer that to Gov Ops for further review, and the hiring of a full-time dispatcher replacing Bob Woodier, who's retiring June 31st. Okay, so those are non-agenda. Two ordinances regarding vacant homes, underage ordinance, drinking ordinance, and a full-time dispatch replacement hiring. I need a motion to open early public comment. So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Anyone wishing to speak to an agenda item, please come on up. Seeing no one, motion to close.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Reports. Jane, do you have anything for us?
No, Mr. Mayor, just on the website is the county clerk's agenda for passports. They're on the website.
Okay, thank you. Jen, anything for us?
Just one item that Fred wanted me to share with council tonight. I understand that at the last meeting there was discussion about training and about how Bloomingdale has made changes recently. We are in receipt of a recent JIF report which shows that lost time for accidents in 2011 was 3.57 for every 100 employees. Out of 40 JIF towns, Bloomingdale was ranked 38. In 2014, we're happy to report that we're now up to 16th, and Fred thinks that the way things are going, we could be in the top 2 or 3 by the end of the year. These results are commendable and show a real commitment by the borough to this issue. We just wanted to share these results with the council.
Yeah, we've come a long way, and the staff has absolutely bought into the concept, and they're very supportive of it, and shown. So thank you so much for that. Any council member have anything?
Just a couple of dates.
Yes.
My calendar may also maybe help me. We have a basketball game next Wednesday, Drug Alliance.
Yes, the 9th.
April 9th. Then I know the opening day, Trap Row is coming up.
On the 12th.
And then the following weekend, I believe, is the egg hunt.
The 19th.
And then the following weekend is the fishing contest.
The 26th.
And I know that DPW went down and did push the basketball poles up.
Oh, okay.
Happened yet?
I did. Good.
Yeah, I haven't measured, but they look pretty good what they did. So.
Okay, I haven't seen them. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Anyone else have anything? Okay. A good chunk of my report is on new business, just giving updates on all our projects and give you detailed updates on where we are on a lot of these pending items. And to Mike's point, all the spring events are upon us. Knock on wood, it's really spring now. And DPW's been working hard getting parks and things all up and running for the season. So very excited about a nice warm spring. Anyone else have anything you want to know about?
You want to feel the weather, so on the senior center.
The snow is still there. Yeah, there's quite a bit of snow moved from the streets. I need a motion to approve, I'm sorry, you were all copied on the water department report in your books as well. I need a motion now to approve the consent agenda consisting of minutes from March 4th and March 18th's regular meeting, as well as a waiving of the fee for the Bloomingdale Ladies Fire Department Auxiliary Annual Flower Sale. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Pending business, three items. The first is discussion, as I brought to your attention last time, transportation alternatives. Again, just reaching out to see if anybody had any ideas. What I'm waiting on is the actual funding that's available. This is not our normal DOT T21 grant that we get our annual road aid, which we're still waiting on the award for Star Lake, which was our last year's application, which we hope the governor will release that funding soon. Then we'll get an application sometime late April or May for our next road, which we usually do annually. The alternative is other programming, bike pathways, beautification, landscaping, various things. The engineer is researching what is really available money-wise. Okay. Same with the Safe Streets school program. What's available and our chances before we spend a lot of time and energy having our engineer and I prepare anything. And May 15th is the deadline, so I can bring it back to April 15th and make some recommendations if need be. I know we talked about Safe Streets on Rafkin Road, that one section of curbing, that sidewalk where we have some issues with. The engineer doesn't think it'll be a successful application because it's not connecting to other sidewalks leading to a school.
Those are.
Right. So he doesn't feel that would be even an eligible application under Safe Streets because it's not leading to the school. There's no other sidewalks there. Right? So again, I don't know if we're moving forward. I'll bring it to your attention again April 15th.
And that is pretty nasty, that sidewalk.
Absolutely. I mean, we need to address it. I mean, it may be a capital project this year, whether it's a full replacement or just an elimination, we'll need to discuss. But we really can't do anything until the budget process is complete. So, all right. So that's where those two are at. Authorization to hire animal control. Lisa Perry, our animal control officer, department head of the animal control department, had interviewed as well as I. I'm going to make the recommendation and look for a motion to hire a Adam Bremy, effective immediately. We had accepted the resignation of our former part-time ACO, and she's gone already from the borough, so we need to get this person up and running. Comes with great qualifications, career development in animal control, a criminal justice degree from Lycoming College, and a lot of experience at a West Milford animal control. So it's again a part-time basis, replacing our employee who had resigned and moved on. And there is some savings in payroll because it's a new hire versus someone who was here for 5 years or so. So I would ask for a motion to approve the hiring of Adam Bremy as our part-time ACO.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Costa.
Yes. Yes.
Del Ripa.
Yes.
Hudson. Yes. Sondemire.
Yes.
Yasti.
Yes.
Okay. New business. First item was a resolution for introduction of the budget. We are close. The Budget Committee wants just another look before we do an introduction. So our goal is to introduce on April 15th. You're on a real good place. And we just need to do just another look-see. And council just got it pretty much last week, so you guys can have input as well. But the committees, myself, Ray, and Rich, and we're just going to do another week's review. On the 15th, we will be ready to introduce our municipal budget. Okay? So therefore, I'm sorry, any comments?
No, I was going to say, do we need to formally table it, or?
No, I don't believe so. We're taking no action. We'll just carry it to our next...
Joe, we want copies of this. Is there any questions now?
If there's any questions between now and the 10th, because I'm trying to have a meeting with the auditors on the 10th, which I'm not informed Ray or Rich yet, because we just found out today. Because if we do move on the 15th, we would like to meet on the 10th to be prepared to do so. So if you have questions, try to get them in by the 9th. Okay, for a call. Should we all answer those? Yes?
I was just going to say, when is Sherry back?
Sherry's back on the 8th. But again, you can have direct communication with the auditor and myself.
Right. I'm just saying, one of those questions requires a report.
The next item, I need adoption, resolution 2014 4.1, affirming the borough's civil right policy. Let me get that motion first and I'll explain. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second.
This is a requirement of our JIF. Our JIF, as I stated at our last meeting, every 2 years revisits your employment practices liability and your policy handbook. As you recall, last meeting we made some amendments to our policy handbook. And one of the things is we re-adopt our civil rights policy with respect to all officials, appointees, employees, prospective employees, volunteers, independent contractors, members of the public that come into contact with municipal employees. Again, this is it's directly from our JIF. Again, recommending the process and procedures on how we handle employees and all those mentioned civil rights, and how we, in my role as full-time mayor, will establish written procedures and report and deal with any claims of discrimination, harassment, or violations of any civil rights within the workplace. And that is what we're doing. So any further discussion on that? And that's for roll call.
Councilmembers D'Amato.
Yes.
Del Rippe.
Yes.
Hudson. Yes. Sondemire.
Yes.
Yasti.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Okay, next item, adoption of resolution 2014 4.2, authorizing sick leave for a police officer as stated in the resolution until June 2nd. Who makes that motion? So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion?
He has the time.
Absolutely. And it will not affect overtime because of our 2 hires. It will, though, take 1 out of the traffic component, so for that period of time. We have another officer returning to full capacity, so we'll be okay.
Do we have a date on that one?
The date is April 2nd through June 2nd.
No, I'm sorry, on the return.
Full-time?
Yeah.
This individual?
No, the,
Full-time capacity? The one
you said, yeah, the one who's returning to full?
if it hasn't happened already, so within the next
Okay.
week or so. Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmembers Del Rippe.
Yes.
Hudson. Yes. Sondemire.
Yes.
Yasti.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
D'Amato.
Yes. The next item is Resolution 2014 4.3, authorizing proposal from Anderson and Denzler for water system upgrades. This is their first step in our conversion to bottled water. This is a system analysis and mapping, prepare overall water system mapping using recent surveys and plans from DMC, and survey, perform system flow analysis and hydraulic studies on pressure and flows. Design system improvements, prepare plans and specs for automated control systems in operation related to the Star Lake tank. The cost of that is $40,000. It is coming out of utility surplus, and I need a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? I'm sorry, roll call, please.
Councilmembers Hudson. Yes. Sondemire.
Yes.
Yasti.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
D'Amato. Del Rippe.
Yes. Thank you. The next item, Resolution 2014 4.4, is approving the renewal for our RER contract, which is the service of our landfill at our DPW yard. This contract will expire December 31st, 2016. The annual payment is $33,090 plus an additional $20,000 worth of topsoil and mulch at the wholesale rate, that is, for our residents. And this includes a 2% increase each year, 2% of last year, and 2% on each renewal. Who makes that motion, please? So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Yes.
Are we still doing the...
Yes. But we're not starting till probably May because of product being available. Once product's available, Terry's keeping a log of all so far. Yes, Mike?
I saw somewhere we were looking to possibly pave the road leading into DPW.
That was just on the capital wish list.
Yeah.
Don't know if it'll occur.
Is that something we can go after them to help?
Well, it's not their contract that they have responsibility for it. I personally think we can ask. You know, if we have any
Is there
basis to do it.
I mean, sure, if there are big trucks going in and out, that's
Contribute,
contribute
I'm
to
sure.
the holes.
You know, to prove what their contribution is would be difficult. Contract doesn't make it responsible.
Right.
That road hasn't been paved in 25 years, so to put the onus entirely on them would be difficult to do. We can have that conversation. But if you look at the DPW driveway, it is in need of paving.
Does Mountain Lakes have something to do with that also?
Well, this ties in not with really much traffic. RER's contract enables us to continue our vegetative waste contract with Compton, where I don't know the numbers, so I don't even say the number. We renewed that contract last year, where we take all of their vegetative waste, processed by RER, whereas we make the revenue from shared service with Compton Lake. So they don't really bring traffic other than the delivery of a dump truck.
Is there a possibility of having their own access?
Well, that's something we talked about, where I personally, I think that their access should be straight drive in, right into where they are, which is something we can look at, though it becomes an issue because it's wetlands and crossing the wetlands, and so I don't think it would be as easy as we think it should be. But it's certainly on the short list. Paving doesn't prohibit that future change if that was to occur. Any further comment? Roll call.
Councilmember Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Yasti.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Tomato. Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
The next item is Resolution 2014-4.5. This is an emergency resolution for temporary appropriations. As you know, we operate on a temporary budget until we adopt, and effective April 1st, amendments can be made to that temporary budget. And that's simply what this resolution is doing, amending various line items so the borough can continue to operate. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Yasti.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Tomato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Sandemeyer.
Yes.
The next item is introduction of ordinance number, we're holding this one?
Fred wanted to take a look because he found there was some inconsistencies with the safety director's report that the ordinance would be raised up, so he wants to take another.
Okay, the ordinance came from Jim.
Right.
Okay.
He still wants to.
All right, we're going to table this, we'll carry it to the 15th, just so you have a heads up what this is. We received from the JIF, as we do on a lot of topics, from carnivals to fireworks to coin drives. We have a lot of volunteer groups request coin drives. And we approve them, we county permission, and we approve them. We really have no policy in place. So this is to have an ordinance defining the rules, defining, liabilities and things to the parties involved, and creating an actual registration form, just a little more accountability on it. And that came from our JIF. So I'll table that Jeff's request until Fred decides if we're amending that ordinance before we introduce. So that's fine. Okay? All right, so item H is just to give everyone an update, because I know it can get frustrating at times, the process. Update on Sloan Rafting, Walter T. DeLazier grandstands, and our DEP loan waterline replacement project. Here we go. Sloan Park. Sloan Park, we are, still getting delays from DEP, primarily now, just about the last 6-month delays on a challenge, on an objection from BMC, Mounting's business, which our hydrological studies prove there's no impact, actually helps their situation, but it just causes delay. The bid will be the week before Memorial Day. It will be bid the week before Memorial Day. That said, you're realistically looking at a start date of June. Rafting Phase 1 begins within the next 10 days, and that'll be a 2-month project. That will last for 2 months. Phase 2, the bid opening is April 30th. DEP infrastructure loan, the bid opening is April 24th. The Walter T. Bergen restrooms will begin within the next week. That was bid and accepted prior to the winter. And the grandstand DeLazier will be bid May 6th. Just to give you actual dates on these things. They're all out there. Yes.
On that Rafting Road on the second phase.
Yes.
Your anticipation is once we award that bid to fall after this month or coincide with the end of the first phase?
Well, whenever they can begin. I mean, the
Unless it's the same contractor, it might be.
we hope it is, but we can't guarantee that. The one can mobilize even while the other one's working. If we bid on the 30th, the real start date on that would be, early June, which is almost when Phase 1 is ending.
Okay.
Those are dates from our engineer. I just want, accountability, put deadlines on things, and a lot of it's always not in our control, but at least we have,
All the paperwork in place for the residents to the assessments.
well, that comes after. Once the project is done and closed, then you go back and do the assessments based on the new footage. We'll have to form an assessment committee, which by ordinance requires various people, at-large residents, and whomever, to just do the math.
Are they notified at the start?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They'll be notified, there'll be public hearings on that part. That's a normal process.
Does traffic involved with that, police?
It's all in the budget. Yes, it's required. I mean, I don't think it's as much as the main drag, but there will be, my main concern is start times, school. We want to try to start times to be after school, in session. And, it's going to be messy for a while. And, you know,
You're not imagining a detour, if there's a little bit of that, a detour around the whole thing.
right. No, they'll be handled probably. I mean, that's, you know, engineer will be supervising it. Phase 2 would be in the summer, most likely after school's out, so that will come too. Okay, so again, I know these are a lot of good things, just, you know, been out there for a little bit, and it's important we bring closure to them. You know, it gets frustrating at times. So, that's where we are. We're really not always in our control. But the good news is, by June, we'll be rocking and rolling with everything here. Any questions on this? That's just a report on those items for me.
Does that include your road paving?
I'm sorry?
10-year road paving?
No, right. I mean, I have in the budget preparation for 5 roads, plus the 5 for the infrastructure. But it all depends, you know, if you're doing it through capital, right? Would be borrowing money to do 5 roads if the council chooses. So that'll come up. You can't even entertain that until the budget's adopted. We introduced the budget on April 15th, which is our goal now. We would adopt May 20th meeting, and then we can move forward on capital. I'm going to wait for introduction, but we're in a real good place on the budget. And we'll wait for our introduction to touch upon the public hearing. We're able to prepare PowerPoint presentations to show the public real detailed information on the budget as we've done in the past. Okay. All right, so I had some pending items. The first item will be, I need a motion for the hiring of Dorothy McMaster as a full-time dispatcher, again replacing our retiring, effective upon retirement, which I believe May 31st. Who makes that motion?
Second?
Any further discussion? Other than this individual, Dorothy McMaster, has been with the borough for
26 years.
26 years.
20-some years, she's got great experience,
Right.
very good.
Incredible asset to the department, and you know, obviously the chief's recommendation is fully supported by us, and it's a great hire. So we're very committed to the borough. Now, just so you know, Dorothy was part-time, so we already gave authorization for the chief to begin that process of replacing Dorothy. We advertise it today. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 to 12 shift, part-time. And these are, again, replacing employees, but not added. And there are realized savings because, you know, the new contract, you know, if you convert from part-time to full-time, you're using 2010 salaries as the starting point. And so same employees, they're both at a new hire part-time 2009. So I don't know the exact math, but it's over $40,000 annual savings with the difference in payroll.
Now, let me just say, there's been some real interest already.
On the part-time?
Yes.
Yeah, we
But
go to
the minutes of you sending it to me on Facebook,
Right.
website,
Right.
I got a text from somebody interested.
Right, I know that there was a few applications pulled today. So that is a motion on the table. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Costa.
Yes.
Tomato.
Yes.
Della Ripa.
Yes.
Hudson. Yes. Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Thank you. The other 2 items, I'm sorry, there's 3 more items. First, we'll talk about the underage drinking ordinance. There's an ordinance that Municipal Alliance, our drug and alcohol awareness program, has brought to the attention to the council a few times. And what I'm going to ask at this point is simply a motion to refer to GovOps, okay? It's pretty cut dry. We don't have a real problem with this, although we have tools in place already for police enforcement. It's really a matter of being, you know, joining, you know, a lot of other municipalities in the county who signed on to this. It does give, from a fine standpoint, it allows any revenue from fines to stay within the borough by having such an ordinance versus, you know, not. But it's not, we don't have a big issue with it.
Right.
But I want the committee to meet, discuss with the chief, and the chief is fine either way, but you guys can have that discussion. So if someone can make a motion to approve the underage drinking ordinance to the Ops Committee.
So moved.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, so, you know, just,
Already reached out to Joe.
yeah. I mean, if the 15th, put it on the agenda, or the first meeting in May, it's your call, right? So that's where that will be until we hear from you. The other 2 items. The first, our ordinances were introduced by title. A few weeks ago, I had reached out to Fred, Borough Attorney Fred Semra, on some rules to deal with vacant buildings, okay? whether they be just vacant, currently owned, taxes current, or and in below average condition, and or vacant because of foreclosure and the like. So the Ordinance Review Committee, ironically, was already in the process of reviewing this. When I forwarded it to them, Fred provided me with a sample ordinance. So the Ordinance Review Committee, who I thank for doing this, prepared 2 ordinances. The first of which simply allows for a registration process. So all vacant buildings must register in the borough. And the point of it is, initial registration, there's fees involved, so we will have to, Jane, amend the fee ordinance prior to adoption or thereabouts. A $250 fee ordinance to register your vacant home. The first renewal is $500, and any subsequent renewal up to 5 years is $1,000 annually. After 5 years, it's a $5,000 annual renewal. It's a deterrent to from keeping a building vacant. Especially, we have property maintenance rules in place to enforce the best we can to maintain the property. But a lot of times these are bank-owned. And again, I believe, putting a fee structure in place, which is a sample ordinance from multiple towns who do this, gives a little accountability to the owner. Some are vacant and they're owned, and people pay taxes on it, which amazes me. Continue to pay taxes on a vacant building with no attempt to sell or rent or whichever. So this is what this ordinance will be doing. So I would ask for a motion to introduce simply by title a proposed ordinance for vacant abandoned buildings, amending Chapter 11-8 by adding Section 8, that is, building and housing. So does that suffice as reading by title?
That would be ordinance 3-201.
Okay. Could you say that again, please?
Ordinance 3-201.
Okay. So who makes that motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
And roll call, please.
That would be seconded by
The first meeting you had.
first meeting.
Does that include businesses that are vacant?
Anything. The ordinance, you guys are copying on your book, you read it, have questions, prior to adoption. I'm sorry, change the May 6th. Can you roll call, please?
Yes. Councilmembers D'Amato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson. Yes. Sondemire.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Thank you. The next is also introduction of ordinance amending Chapter 11, same chapter, Section 3, unsafe buildings. And simply how that's amending is the current standards of building or structure, any part thereof, shall be considered unsafe to life or health, or unsafe adjoining properties when the same is dangerous by reason of, and it lists the reason: bad condition of walls, overloading floors, defective construction, disrepair, and so on. What we're adding to that section is whether occupied or vacant. Okay, that's what's being added. The second change within Chapter 11, Section 3 is, just so you know, the service of written complaints, content, and hearings. If the construction official shall ascertain or have reason to believe a building is unsafe, he shall immediately make an examination and inspection. And if, in his opinion, the building or structure or any part thereof is unsafe or dangerous to the life or health of adjoining properties, because of the existence of any conditions therein set forth in the section previously that I read, he shall cause a written complaint to be served upon the owner. That part existed already. The part added is, it shall also be conspicuously appended to the building or structure. So we will label it as such a problem. It shall contain a notice that the hearing will be held before him at a place therein fixed, not less than 7 days, no more than 30 from the serving, and we're adding, and posting of the complaint. Okay? The ordinance exists, we're just adding those 2 lines. We're giving the control to our construction department, who in essence really has control by state construction laws, but we're bringing it locally as just adding more strength to it. So this will allow us, by ordinance we've previously done, to register these buildings, and monitor these buildings, and generate a registration fee from them, again, for accountability purposes, and allow our construction officer to serve notice with posting, whether it's vacant or occupied, an unsafe structure notice, and then the town can deal with it. And I think this is important for the borough to take control on cleaning up such properties, okay? So I need a motion to introduce by title the amendment of Chapter 11.3 unsafe buildings. Who makes that motion? He has the model. And any further discussion?
The ordinance 4-2014,
Please. Before I ask for roll call, I just want to thank the ordinance review for the turnaround and Fred for getting some samples that they combined into this recommendation. Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Delaware.
Yes.
Hudson. Yes. Sondemire.
Yes.
Justin.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Tomato.
Yes.
Thank you. At this time, I need a motion to open the late public comment. So moved. Second. All in favor? Anyone wishing to speak, please come on up, state your name and address for the record.
Rich about 16 High Street, Bloomingdale.
Yes, sir.
We're talking about vacant houses.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can answer this question about the signs that were issued for not shoveling snow at vacant houses.
Again, if we have an owner and a traceable, trackable owner,
Well, it's a bank.
it's a bank. I mean, we serve
no
no
charges.
Okay, and this is why we're doing what we've just done, is to have them registered and force the registration. When there's a violation, be it tall grass, be it snow shovel, our property maintenance officer goes to the tax office, sees it's owned by Wells Fargo Bank with a P.O. box in Missouri, and where do you begin? And it takes forever to find that process, find that right person, and then once you find them, the banks really don't pay much attention to it. To the point where, we'll have a safety issue. I had the Boy Scout shovel quite a bit this year. I had, DPW, if it's that precarious of a situation. But this is why we're doing what we're doing here.
Right, I
More
understand.
accountability. It's just that example.
Has our property maintenance supervisor been inspecting these?
Snow removal is actually our police department. Clearing of sidewalks is PD, not property maintenance.
Trouble again?
Because they're here, 24/7. And,
Well, he's here 3 days a week in a company car.
well, he's here, based on the contract based on the terms of his hire before all of our time, he's here 6 hours a week. So, personally, I think the borough,
I mean,
if it was feasible, should make an investment and have
I ride
more hours on that job.
I ride around town a lot.
Yeah.
And I see things that this guy's getting paid to see.
Mhm.
I mean,
Again, and I don't.
I'm talking about on Clark Street, people vacated the house.
My first comment on what you just said is, if you do see these things, then please call me, because I'll have them addressed.
I have to call you because I don't want to be a pain in the neck over there.
Well, call me. I want you to call me. I get those calls all the time, and the council will attest to the fact that I do the same thing. I actually have, a sticky note in my car, and my kids laugh at me when I'm driving and put the brakes on and write something down as I drive, which I do often. Seeing things to your point. And again, our property maintenance official does a good job with the tools he has and the hours he's paid to be here. 6 hours a week is not a lot of time. Then there's court
He
time.
called me a couple of times.
I didn't give him that one.
That's a question. You talk about finding we have to send a letter to Missouri.
Well,
Why
again, that
was
was,
it going to hand it to the bank manager?
well, I use Wells Fargo. That was just a bad example. You have it on Main Street.
Any business. I'm just saying, because, I'm sure there's other business in town that the owner's not there, and it's ran by a manager, but if they're going to get fined, the manager.
No, we don't give it. If it's owned by an individual, that individual, the tax record has their home address, in whatever town it is, and they're served that notice. I'm talking about the ones that are difficult are the bank-owned ones, and I use Wells Fargo as an example, but it's a bad example. Most of the
Richie
banks
said
are.
something about a sidewalk at a bank, so I just tied it together.
No, he said a sidewalk in town. It wasn't at a bank, was it?
No, Clark Street.
At a bank.
No, I said the bank, well, if you have a late charge, they'll mail you the next day.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, Clark Street, we
You
had
know
a
what I mean?
problem with that house being vacated.
I'm talking about even the garbage pickup. I mean, they pick up on Monday and Tuesday, you can't see in front of the house again.
Where is that? The same property?
No, a different property in town, that by the flats, right by the water department.
Where?
They time gets on Hamilton
The
Street,
garbage is picked up on Monday.
Monday,
And Tuesday they put it back out.
Tuesday they put it right back out again for Thursday.
Okay, which is a violation, they can ask me 6 a.m.
And this is happening right across the street too from the water department. They got a television, they see their truck, they take off.
Well, again, I'm not,
I mean, I don't want to be calling the cops every 5 minutes.
no, the police, property maintenance is not the police, snow removal is the police. But Rich, I'm telling you, if you have a problem with that garbage example, you call the construction office, you probably, but don't do that.
You're not going to tone my ringing that you know it's me.
Absolutely. That's one of my pet peeves, that never happens, but I'll deal with those things. But to your point, when that happens, and in defense of whoever does the job for property maintenance, if he's here 6 hours a week, what are the chances on that one Tuesday you're going to drive by Boston Street and see that garbage out? Very next to impossible.
I personally doesn't,
We also have, do you use internet? Computer?
I don't even have a computer.
I never. Well, we have a great tool on our website that you can put in.
Let's see an antique.
So, at least you have one. But this ordinance is going to help with the vacant homes part, you know, so it's a start. But seriously, call me, email, or no, don't email me, call me. Anything, and I'll make sure it's addressed, absolutely. You know, but again, in the Borough world, you know, if finances were such, which I don't believe they are at this point in time, we should make the investment in property maintenance. You need, you know, for as long as I've been involved prior to my involvement, Dan Hector used to be the guy
I
to
think
do
it
it.
should be somebody who's in town or who lives in town or works for the town, not come here, you say 6 hours a week?
Right, but even if that person lived in town, and they're still only paid for 6 hours a week,
Yeah.
6 hours a week, it's not enough time to do the job. So, again, it is discussion amongst the council, but something we look to address.
Okay.
Thank you very much. But I think because of my sticky note writing, it has improved. So I see a lot. Anyone else wishing to speak, please come on up. Seeing no one, motion to close, please.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
We will be going to late executive session where we have 3 matter of personnel, 1 matter of negotiation. Consideration of executive session business will be given the opportunity for public comment. Governing body schedule, 2 things Jane listed. Last day for party affiliation change, April 9th. Clerk's office open till 4. Regular meeting April 15th. Work session May 6th. Last day to register to vote for the primary May 13th. Clerk's office open till 9 p.m. I need a motion to go into executive.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And we have executive 2-minute recess. Good night.